Okay, folks, good morning and welcome to Swing Trading Today. This is Bob Desmond, and it is 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 6th. So, I want to talk about, in my view anyway, given the rally in precious metals, given the rally in stocks since the March lows, I want to talk a brief bit about the 10-year yield. But before I get into it, tonight is Thursday night Stock Charts Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is where we review the weekly charts on Thursday evening to see how we're poised to close out the week. What that does is it gives us an opportunity to position ourselves ahead of the new trading week. So please join us there. It's always a good time. Great people. And, of course, I'll do some chart requests. I'll begin with members. And if I have some time left over, we'll take some requests from the audience. All right. So to the weekly chart of the 10-year yield. I have been talking about this. I've been like the boy who cried wolf for a few weeks now. Hey, Kat, good morning. And I was warning back here, prior to us breaking down below this lower band of support on the 10-year yield, that we needed to be cautious. And while we did, in fact, break support on the yield price, RSI has really not validated the breakdown. It's been holding up. Stokes have validated the breakdown. They are in a corrective zone. I thought we might put in a higher low. We did not. But I've never taken my eye off of RSI. So Monday's price action was an update. Tuesday, horrible day. Hammered. Wednesday, bullish reversal. So do we have an undercut double bottom here on the 10-year yield? We don't know. The week isn't over yet. And frankly, we're not going to know for the next couple of weeks whether or not we have a double bottom setup here. But I think it's just a cautionary tale that we need to pay heed of. If you're trading long of commodities, take note of the fact that in all probability you're going to get a bit of selling pressure should we see a rally in yields, or even a bit of profit taking if we begin to show some stability here. So we did short the gold miners yesterday using DUST, which is a leveraged ETF, putting you short of the gold miners. And you can see that these Stokes are just hooking up. But this is a weekly chart. It's Wednesday. We have 2 trading days. Oh, excuse me. It's Thursday. 2 full trading days left to go. A lot can happen here. We know that from past experience. 1, 2 trading days left in the week can make a big difference. We do have a new weekly low. We can weaken up here very easily. Volume is still huge. But yesterday, you did see a rally on rising yields, and we never did pull back to retest the lows. We did put in a higher low. Granted, 15-minute chart. We're not day traders here, but we're just taking note of what may be early stages of some bottoming action here. Very early stages. I can't emphasize that enough. So let's just beware of what's going on potentially with some commodity sensitive names. Here's the GDXJ, which we are long, but we've been booking profits. We've been scaling out a bit. So we're not as big as what we once were. And here's a sell-off, 15-minute basis. And what you really need to pay heed of is not so much the daily chart of the GDXJ, but gold. I mean, even if you look at spot price, it's even more overbought on a daily basis on RSI anyway than what is the GLD. I mean, to me, this is like a shooting star formation, the beginning anyway of a potential blow off top and exhaustion run. Short term anyway, longer term I think gold's going up higher. But be very, very careful here. You're seeing signs of a potential correction in gold, lower highs on MACD histogram. All right, let's get to the pre-market activity. And again, for those just joining in tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, swing trading, Thursday Night Futures Live. Still on my first cup of coffee here. All right, so we'll begin with crude oil prices because this is the last chart I was looking at before I went live. And you could see that crude prices are pulling in some. They're down at about a percentage point. We were just talking about commodities. I want to bring up the dollar, see what it's doing. Similar to the chart of yields, the dollar appears to be short term. I can't emphasize this enough. Short term anyway. Appears to be setting up for a potential rally. An undercut double bottom. And we may get a rally here. That will not bode well for the commodity space. I already have my alerts set. I want to know if we take out the highs of Monday. And I also want to know if we take out the lows of the session. Because if we do see weakness on the dollar, I want to be not weakness on the dollar. If we see strength on the dollar, I want to be extra exposed to the financials. Because if you take a look at the financials, which we are long of, we've been building a position, not of the XLF, but that of a leveraged ETF. This is a weekly chart. Let's go to a daily chart. Hey, Young, good morning. Oh, yeah. 2 o'clock by you. Have you not gone to bed, or you're just going to bed? Don't tell me you got up just for this, please. Why is this not changing? There we go. All right. So we went over the chart of yields and the dollar. Both reacted bullishly yesterday. And what happened yesterday on the banks? They broke out. And despite the weakness on yields for weeks now, the banks have stopped going down. And this is what we picked up on, was that normally you have an inverse correlation. Yields will pull back and the financials will rally, and the inverse is true. So we have a breakout now on the banks, and I think we'll be adding, should we see a rally. I'm sorry, they rally together. I apologize. It's still way too early here too. They rally together. They're correlated. So we're seeing a rally in the financials, a rally yesterday in yields, stabilization on the banks, and they're looking good. So we're maybe looking to add more here to the banks. Nice RSI, W formation off of 50. Very nice. Let's go to the pre-market. See what the futures are doing here. Bitcoin had a really good day yesterday. It's looking good. We've this is a 4-hour chart. We have broken out, pulling back. I think we're going to follow through to the upside here. Yeah, we're going to go. We're consolidating. Looks like we're going to go higher. Good morning, Oliver. Silver? Okay. Yeah, silver I looked at earlier. It's going up higher. It's insane. Up nearly 3.5%. RSI on a 4-hour basis is at 82.5. Let's see what it looks like on a daily basis. Yeah, daily chart 82.14. That'll be higher today, but similar with gold, very similar chart in that we're beginning to see gaps up higher, a little bit of a fade. So we may be at the beginning here of an exhaustion run on silver, gold. And I'm not going to be the least bit surprised to see if you go back and you take a look at the chart of gold on I believe it's a monthly chart I have set up here. Yeah. I mean, we just ripped through all-time highs like a hot knife through butter. And if you think about it, if you believe, as I do, in retracements and retests, to think that we're not going to, and to think that it wouldn't be healthy to do a retest of this support level to validate that it was resistance back here in September 11, to think that it's not a good thing, it's foolhardy. It's a really good thing. I would love nothing more than to see a retracement and us hold 1923 spot 70. Where did we close yesterday? 2049 spot 30. Not a great distance away, but I think we're going to do a retracement back down there at some point in time in the near future. We have RSI on a monthly basis at 85. Daily chart 89. This is on spot, not the GLD. 89 on a daily chart, weekly chart. Not as bad. 77. But look at this. We're kissing that third standard deviation Bollinger Band on a weekly basis. So I'd be very, very careful here. This is like third rail stuff that's going on with gold. As you see these gaps up, I would be scaling out of at least some of my position, making it real, and then re-entering on a retest. We can take a look at silver on a higher level view. Where's my saved charts? silver weekly. You know, very similar as to what you're seeing with gold, but silver is even more volatile than gold. And you know, this is the third consecutive week that we're leaning into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. RSI 84.09. Volume is still insane. This is just the street waking up saying, oh Christ, we don't have enough silver. Look at this monthly chart, ridiculous. But we've been here before. Back here as well, but it didn't end well. So, big warning flag on the track. I've been a huge proponent of silver and gold. I remain a huge proponent of them longer term. But we need a correction here. And I want to take a quick look. One of the early warning indicators I use for entering gold or exiting gold are the TIPS, Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. And they're still ripping. All-time highs. We're flatlined on Stokes. Volume is still good, above average. Not much in terms of weakness here. Very extended, no doubt about it. But look at this. Jesus, the TIPS, for God's sakes, have an RSI of nearly 88. You really, at some point in time, have to make profits real here. Interesting stuff. Because if this goes, you're going to see a pretty precipitous drop on the TIPS. It's going to be unforgiving. All right, let's take some chart requests. Thanks, Young. I have a couple of requests from members. What do we got? FSLY is down 14.8% this morning. All right, so my guess is they reported. Yep, they reported. I'm not going to go through earnings here. What we'll do is we'll take a look at where support might be, and we'll take it from that perspective of looking for a long entry point, because a bit late to go shorting. We'll take a look at that for you, Kat. All right, Fastly. Is this reflective of yesterday's price action after hours? It is not. So a bearish reversal day yesterday. Okay. Monthly chart doesn't help. All it tells me is that we're very extended. Lots of topping action up here. You bet, Kat. Weekly chart. Well, weekly chart, we had broken out. The magic number is 92.68 on Fastly. I wanted to get involved with this stock a while ago, but I never hit my support levels. Just kept going up higher. All right, so $92.68 to 93. Interesting support. Definitely not a long at current. Maybe a little bit lower here. We're right there. I would wait to see how this plays out. I mean, last night we were talking about with one of our members the price action. What was the symbol? Do I still have? Yeah, Mavis. You know, we're talking about just prior to earnings where we might have an entry point. And I said, you know what? It will look like we're weakening up here into the close. And excuse me. And after hours, the thing just got hammered. I had support levels here and here, sliced right through it like a hot knife through butter, or through them like a hot knife through butter. So I'd be patient with Fastly, allow it to bounce, see whether or not that weekly support level holds, maybe a retest, and then look to enter the position long. All right. What else do we have? LVGO. LVGO. Let's see if any news came out here first. LVGO. Looks like they probably reported earnings yesterday. Yep. All right, so news is out. That was in the AM yesterday. We could take a look at the... oh, by the way, we're going to be doing a... I don't know what the logistics is going to be yet, but the people over at TrendSpider reached out to me, and they want to do a seminar. So I think they want to get hosted. I think I'm going to be hosting them. I'm not sure what the format's going to be like, but they want to do a demonstration of TrendSpider. I use the Bare Essentials with it, and so they'll be on probably a Thursday. I don't know about tonight. Maybe next Thursday. And they'll be going over how to set up market scans, strategy tester. All right, so off the bat, these shares can't be bought unless we gap up today. I'm going to go with the weekly chart. Not enough data on the monthly chart. I think we need to see how we close out the week here. Do we hold support, which has gone pretty much parabolic, or do we fail to hold it? I'd like to see where this closes out tomorrow afternoon. I see no compelling reason to go jumping in here. Stokes are extremely extended. And on a daily basis, we close down below the rising lower band of support right off the bat. That has me very concerned. So I would avoid. Wouldn't short it. It's right at support, so I wouldn't short it. Are they doing a merger? Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Joe. All right, W. Wayfair. Oh, yeah. A monster. all-time highs. Strong, strong chart. Monthly basis anyway. Let's see if there are any chinks in the armor. Nope, not on a weekly basis. Very, very strong RSI. I mean, when you see a consolidation like this and then a breakout, this is what ensues. So we're trading right at the highs of the week, just shy actually. Daily chart, this is a continuation breakout pattern. If we retrace down to 295.56, good entry point to add. And a good place to put a stop if you enter and you're looking to day trade it to get out of the trade quickly, small loss. But I think there's a lot of upside still here on the shares. It's a strong stock. You know, we do have RSI trading at 80.29. You know, that doesn't mean avoid it. It just means I wouldn't get extra heavy with it. Use a trailing stop loss order, let the markets take you out. And it's definitely not a short just yet anyway. Now, if it goes to extreme overbought levels, you know, high 80s, low 90s on RSI, then it becomes a speculative short, but certainly a trade that you'd be in and out of quickly to the short side. No, I wouldn't say exhausted here, Kat. I mean, you have, in this case here, long green bodies, implying that you're not seeing a tug of war between bulls and bears. Bulls are certainly decisively winning out. You know, we relative to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, we're a bit extended, but yesterday offered a bit of a reprieve. We put a little bit of distance between the third standard deviation Bollinger Band and price. We are becoming extended, but I think there's still some fuel in the tank. And you take a look at the rising volume bars. That's healthy. I wouldn't go shorting into this just yet. You know, once you begin to see reversal bars like here, or filled candlesticks like back here, that's a sign that, you know what, you're starting to get some indecision. We may even see some up days after that, but that's your first sign that, okay, all is not well. The only thing I would say here is that if you're going by probabilities, you've had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of consecutive up days and sizable percentage gains. You know, what are the probabilities that's going to continue? You know, it could be a death of 1,000 cuts and just creep up a couple of points a day and still not quite yet be a short. So I wouldn't go shorting here. And I could sense earnings were crazy high. Oh, so we had really good earnings? Long story short, would I go opening a new trade here? Probably not. Would I go shorting? Definitely not. So any new long trade, I would keep very small trailing stop loss order. All right, next chart up, OSTK. Jesus Christ. I haven't looked at this one in a while. This is crazy. Wow. Now this is closer to being a short than what is W, but I still wouldn't short it just yet. Here's an indecision day, doji formation, bulls still one out. My guess is there's probably a big short interest in this name, and they're just squeezing the shorts. Volume is still high. Like with W, I think that there's probably still some fuel left in the tank, but RSI nearing 90, that definitely puts it on the radar screen as a potential short trade. And I have zero expectation that it's going to go crashing down. Just a simple correction to scalp a short off of. Four-hour chart showing no divergences to speak of. Volume still healthy. So were I long, I'd stay long, tighten up my stops. Trailing stop also order is best in these cases, and let the market take you out. A 30-minute chart. Bit of a reversal bar at the close yesterday. On volume. Let's see what it's doing pre-market. I mean, if they're gapping it up pre-market, last tick was at 95.9. We closed at 93.85. I would wait to see how we close. This one's a rip your face off stock. If it was a ridiculous gap up higher, I might short into it pre-market. But this one has me a bit afraid to do that. Because we could still head up higher here. So it's still a strong stock, not a short yet. I would not initiate a new long trade or add to one, tighten up those stops. GSX. Moving up in the pre-market. I'm going to leave off with this one, folks. For those joining in, if I could ask you to smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's pull back here. This is nice. Do we have any resistance above? Nope. All right. Daily chart still looks very, very strong. It's extended relative to the 3D Bollinger. RSI, where are we at there? It's at 81.64. I wouldn't I wouldn't go shorting it just yet. Let's bring it up on it's close. But having closed at the highs of the day yesterday, volume rising. MACD histogram, it really needs to flatten out before I leaned into the short side. What concerns me with a name like this is that you have no historical resistance at which you could find short people of like mind that are willing to short. All right, so it's clear blue skies. Where do you short this thing? So you really need to go by the technicals and say, okay, what's price telling me? In this case here, yes, we're above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, but we were the prior day as well. Will we stay there? No. Will it end poorly? Yes. But can we move up higher? Yeah, we can move up higher. RSI is only at 81.64. It can go higher. Back here, it was as high as what? 92.44. So not a short, not a long. I think that this train has left the station. It's going to be a short soon, but not right now. Far too much risk and not enough reward. And I don't have any real reason to put money at risk at current to short this, because I think it can move up higher. So odds still favor bulls. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a profitable trading day. And I will talk to you tonight, Thursday night, Futures Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be well.